Hey everybody, I thought it was about time to do a bit of an update. It feels like it's been a while, and just a heads up, this is totally going to be a talking video. I just want to talk about a few things that have happened and a few things that are coming up. So it is literally going to be me sitting here talking to you, and if that's not your thing, feel free to click away. So the big thing, of course, is the move. I get the keys for the new house on Tuesday. That's when we settle. So as of Wednesday next week, I will be in the new house, and I'm so incredibly excited for it. It felt, well, this settlement period felt a lot shorter than the last one, because unlike the last one where the estate agent took care of everything, I've had to do everything on this one because it was a private sale. So constantly following up with the banks and following up with the solicitors. This week has been the first week since we bought the house where I haven't actually done anything, and next week we settle. So from that perspective, it's been pretty cool, but it has been a lot more work. We're actually going to move all of our stuff next weekend. So I get the keys on Tuesday, but I'm only going to move all of the stuff the following weekend. That's going to give us the whole day. I've hired one of those big, I think it's 4.5 ton vans, and I reckon we'll be able to do all of our stuff in a day. I mean, it's not that much stuff, and between myself and the family I have here, I reckon we'll be able to knock this out pretty easily. And then the Friday after that is when when we've sort of signed out of this rental. So we move next weekend. Then Friday after that, I have to be out of here, and then that's it for this space. Unfortunately, we still don't have a renter to break the lease on this place. Last weekend, while I was in Sydney, I got a text to say that someone had been found and they were moving into the place, and I was so excited. I was just like, this is the best way to start my weekend. I'm here on an important trip, and now I'm even more pumped, and it was fantastic. And then on Tuesday, I had this thought of, is there a cooling off period for renters? Because, I've never rented, I didn't organize this rental, my wife did, but I've never gone through that process. So I thought, well, let me ring the rental agency up and see what's going on. And I called them, and the woman picked up and said, I've been meaning to call you, and I knew exactly what it was about. Those people who said they were going to take it, they haven't pulled out, but they just didn't come back to sign the contract. So the agent basically said, you can take that as they're not taking the place. So that's been a real bummer. It's been a real bummer, because that was always going to be a concern, because we've heard that the market at the moment in Townsville for rentals is terrible. If you were looking for rentals at the beginning of the year when the new university students were coming in, or the new teachers were coming in, the place would get snapped up like that. When my wife was looking for places and she found this, they were just going so quickly. I mean, this was the third or fourth place that we put our names down. Now, when I walk around or go for a run around this area, there's about anywhere between 5 and 10 rentals actively looking for people. So unfortunately, we're just really fighting a poor situation. So when I heard that someone was coming, I thought, well, this is amazing. Like, how perfect is my luck that someone's decided to move into this. Out of all the other houses, they've decided to move into this house, and it seemed too good to be true. So it's not the end of the world. It is going to mean that until we get rid of this, we're paying rental here and mortgage on the new place. But we knew that this was going to be a potential issue. And the agency did say it can take up to 6 to 8 weeks. We're probably at about 4 weeks at the moment. So, it is one of those things. And in retrospect, I don't think I would have passed up on a house to make sure that I didn't have to pay that little bit of extra rent, because that house that we're moving into is for years. This little problem and this little financial hurdle is for weeks, months, worst case scenario. So, I guess it's just one of those costs that you've got to factor into in the house when moving out of a rental. You might have noticed on the main channel there has been a recent spike. For some reason, that speaker build that I did a few months back just suddenly picked up traction. I can see that a lot of people are watching it from one particular video which is doing very well. So you can see in the YouTube analytics where people are coming from. And there's this one particular video about a speaker design that's doing really well, and people are coming straight from that. And it was incredible for a time, for a few days, that video was doing better than the concrete countertop. The concrete countertop has been the king of the hill for, well, since it did well, since June last year. There has not been a single video that's beaten it, which is, I've spoken about this before, has been an endless source of frustration because I feel like my content's got so much better, but it's not working in terms of the statistics. But for some reason that thing just took off, and it was just going gangbusters for about a week. And today, out of the blue, just for no apparent reason, I knew I was going to have a bit of a drop off around the 4th of July because, obviously that's a holiday and people go away for that. But just out of the blue, it just dropped off. And now I'm back to the results that I was on before. And it's incredible to watch that type of thing happen. And you don't really know why things happen. You don't know what caused that. But it was just night and day, going well, and then it's dropped off. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of days. Who knows, maybe it will pick up again. But, for a while there, the channel took some, a real good turn, and it was working really well. So I'm quite happy. Talking about the channel, obviously the process of moving is going to put all of this on hold for a while. I've got to pack up the shop, and then I've got to get into the new shop. But I have 3 videos uploaded, ready to go, which is great. So that, because I'm down to about every 2 week cycle, publish a new video, that's going to give me about a month at least to transition from this to that. And I'm really happy. I didn't think that was going to happen. So the way I've been organizing everything is that I need to move into the house, get the new shop built, and get working straight away, because I thought that was how it was all going to play out. But just recently, the way the videos have come together, and because of, as I say, things like 4th of July, you wouldn't release a video there because no one's watching YouTube. Everything's just lined up that I'm releasing a video tomorrow night, then I can wait 2 weeks, and then another 2 weeks, and by that stage, I'd like to believe that the shop will be ready on the other side. In terms of that shop and at the new house, I've had 2 quotes for basically building in underneath the high-set house that it is. 2 very different quotes. The one was almost double the other, which I was quite surprised by. So I'm thinking I need to get a 3rd quote just to get an idea. The problem is, while I do have a fair amount of knowledge when it comes to building and the processes and what is and isn't right, I don't have a whole heap of experience working with contractors or tradies here in Australia. So it's hard for me to work out whether one guy's screwing me or another guy's charging me too little because he's going to do a half-hearted job. So that sort of aspect is something that I'm very new to. So I'm hoping that if I get my 3rd quote, then I'll be able to see which one is the odd one out and which one I should be staying away from. As I say, I was trying to get the shop built as quickly as possible so I could move out of this, move into that, and sort of hit the ground running. But now that I have a bit of a buffer, I can slow everything down, take a step back, get that 3rd quote, and take my time a little bit so I can get the best possible deal. I also found out that the windows that I'm getting for the build, because I want fairly substantial glass in the windows, because obviously sound is the biggest issue. The windows that I'm going to be getting are going to take 2 weeks to make. So, and those need to be sized based on the gaps that are left in the block work. So I can't actually get the windows in until 2 weeks after the block work is done. So it's extremely fortuitous that this release schedule has worked out the way it has. So, you know, I've got a bit of a gap because I think otherwise I would have been very, very far behind if I was going on the premise that I was going to get straight in and start working. I just want to touch quickly on the YouTube event that I was at last weekend. Overall, I'm still very happy that I went. I made a couple of good connections, nothing groundbreaking, but they were good connections. And I still feel like it was worth all of the money that I spent. I didn't actually spend the money getting there because over the years of travel with my day job, I've accumulated a lot of flyer miles. So my flights and hotel were all covered by the flyer miles. Now, yes, you can argue the fact that I could have used that on something else, so it kind of is my money, or it is spending, but it was an opportunity that I could take and not be out of pocket for it. So it seemed like the right time to be using those points. I do travel a bit less nowadays for work, so I'm not going to be able to recover them as quickly. But again, as I say, still totally happy that I went and did that. I feel like it was money spent on the business for the right reason. So I can't argue with it. Speaking of the day job, it has become very busy recently. I sell software to the aged care industry, and I've got a bit of an accounts management role. It's a fairly small company, so I wear a lot of hats, but account management is what I would say is my closest role. And we've just started selling new software, and I need to start learning how the software works. There's two different programs. So up until this point, I've been selling software that I've been working with for 8 years. So I've known it like the back of my hand, so it's required very little effort. Now we are anticipating a higher volume of sales in a product that I need to support with zero knowledge. So my day job has really taken out a lot of my time, sort of 24 hours a day, evenings, during the day. I'm focusing more on that now. And it's one of those things, I mean, this whole YouTube thing is a side project, and I need to remember that. I can't let my income suffer because of this. But it has been poor timing having to focus on that, because it does feel like with the moving of the house and the sudden movement in the channel, I want to put all of my energy into it, but I just can't. You know, with a family and a mortgage, I can't afford to take that risk. So, you know, it's one of those things. Well, I'll make time. There's always more hours in the day. You just got to find them. But work has been very, very busy at the moment. Well, that's about all the news that I have. I've completely finished in this shop. I finished filming yesterday my last project, so now I can start packing everything up, which is great, so I can get a bit of a head start. So it's going to be quite a process getting all of this back into boxes. I mean, to be fair, like a lot of it never came out of boxes, which is great, but I have accumulated a fair amount of junk, so it's going to take a while. My goal is to have this entire place sorted out, ready to go, so that next weekend when I get the van, it's all in boxes, so I can literally just pick it up, bang it onto the truck, and it's going to be a simple, straightforward, smooth process. Alright everybody, well that's it. I just wanted to fill you in with where I've been. It feels like it's been a chaotic couple of weeks, and I haven't done too much vlogging, but it's just because, as I say, with everything going on, it's been a bit crazy. But you are now officially up to date with where I am, and these next couple of days/weeks are going to be incredibly busy, but I do really want to bring you guys along. So if you don't see regular videos sort of coming out every week or so, don't worry, I will be filming everything. They just might be a bit delayed, but don't worry, you will see everything. It just might not be as it happens. Cool. All right, well, thanks again for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon.